We're here today outside the Biological Sciences building to interview Associate Professor Torsten.
Working both here and internationally, he explores the microbial world and is a prominent researcher within Australia. So let's go and meet him.
So first of all, we just wanted to get a little bit of background information. So what's your name, how old are you, and what are your hobbies?
My name is Torsten Thomas. I'm an Associate Professor at the School of Biotechnology and Biomedical Sciences at the Center for Marine Bioinnovation. I'm 40 years old and I have hobbies. I do like the ocean, I like scuba diving, and I like to be at the beach. I have a family. I've got a partner who's also an academic at the University of New South Wales. And I've got two children, an 11-year-old boy and a 6-year-old daughter.
So what do you do on an average day? What projects are you currently working on?
An average day for me is to come to the university and spend time in my office, in my lab, and interacting with students about research. I do also often have the opportunity to write papers and write a grant application to further support my research. I also am involved in administration within the university, and this means organizing teaching or organizing other activities within the university.
What would you consider your most potent memories of your first year of university?
Other than the great parties we had at the time, I was very excited about really getting the opportunity to spend most of my time studying, learning, and really being focused on one particular area, which was science or biological science in my stage. This was, from me coming from high school, quite different because there were many subjects that I didn't like, including English at the time. But I was very excited to just being able to do what I really enjoyed.
So do you think Australia is a good place to be doing research at the moment?
Australia used to be a very good place. We currently have certainly a government that has not done very well to support research and education, higher education at the universities, and I'm a little bit concerned that the future might not be quite as rosy as it used to be.
What is your favourite thing about what you do?
My favourite thing about my job is that I create new knowledge and find out new things quite often, and that I can actually learn new things. And I think it's also important and very exciting that I can actually transfer this knowledge to other people and students.
What skills are most important about your work? Do you think science is more discipline or more creativity based?
I think when you're doing science you need to have a good knowledge of your discipline and a good understanding of your discipline, but beyond that you should always think about what you're doing and be creative. I agree, creativity is important, but very important for science is also that you're being persistent and that you have a long-term vision of what you're trying to achieve.
Have you had an experience being an academic overseas, and if so, how did that differ from being in Australia?
I did my undergraduate at a German university. The teaching there was very different compared to the Australian universities. Teaching was much more self-guided than it is here. I also spent a couple of years ago, about 9 months working at a German university. The universities in Germany, one I visited, was probably not quite as well equipped and fitted out as UNSW. However, I still had the feeling that students there were much more self-motivated than here, and I think that is a very important aspect for doing research, is that people are self-motivated and driving themselves towards their goals.
If a movie was made about your life, what would be its title and who would play you as the main character?
Give me a moment to think about this. dear. Kangaroos more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still recording?
Yeah. It's fine. We'll cut it out. It's fine.
I think the title of my life would be title of a movie for me would be Alive as a Scientist, and it would probably be a drama. And I wish to think that maybe Keanu Reeves would play me. I like him very much.
If you weren't a scientist, what other career would you have pursued?
It sounds funny, but I think I would have become a farmer. I like the idea of developing or doing something original and new. And I think as a farmer, you're also producing new stuff. You're producing food is a very simple task. And I think in the same way, scientists have a very simple task to create new knowledge. And I think I like these very simple aspects of my job.
What's your advice for aspiring scientists?
My advice for aspiring scientists is do what you feel passionate about, because if you really do what you like, then you will be good at it, and then everything else falls into place afterwards.
What is your biggest moment in your life or in your career so far?
In my life, it was probably the birth of my kids. In my career, it was probably when I got my PhD, and I felt like that I've achieved a great academic step.